UN's Special Rapporteur on extrajudicial summary or arbitrary executions has just ended a 2-week visit to Nigeria. Agnes Kanu'S has been looking at alleged abuses committed by security forces in the north and south, where a separatist movement has been gaining ground. Well, Kanu'S is warning the Nigerian government to address what she's calling a pressure cooker of violence that is claiming thousands of lives. Her report also highlights excessive use of force by police, leading to killings and lack of investigations and prosecutions for those committing human rights abuses. Well, Kanu'S says she found an absence of accountability and a lack of justice for victims. Well, Agnes Kanu'S joins us live now from Abuja. Agnes, thank you very much for joining us on the programme. That is a pretty long list there. Tell us more about what your visit to Nigeria has uncovered. I noticed the phrase in your press conference earlier, a pressure cooker of violence. So what did you find?
Well, I could not really use any other words than pressure cooker. I have found localized and countrywide patterns of violence that are simmering. And my main concerns with those localized and countrywide systems of violence is that they are now taking place in a context characterized by population explosion, by an increased number of people living in extreme poverty, by the proliferation of weapons coming from throughout the region of West Africa, and by the environmental degradations. So those external pressure applied on top of those ecosystems, eco-political systems of violence are ready to conflagrate, to explode in a way which I don't think we have yet completely understood. So my preliminary finding today was really to issue this warning both to the government and to the international community. There is in Nigeria a pressure cooker that, if it is unchecked, could have ripple effect throughout the regions. And now is the time to prioritize the rule of law and accountability for the people of Nigeria.
Agnes, you used the word crisis and said in your press conference that, you don't want the government to pretend this is not a crisis. But how do they view the situation that you bring up in your report?
Well, you will have to ask them. I don't think I have made any sharp or stark revelations to the government. Whether or not authorities are willing to admit the extent of the problem is a different matter. But in all my meetings with officials, in the majority of my meetings with officials, there is an acknowledgement of the scale and the extent of the problems. That gives me some hope that the authorities, with the necessary leadership and political will be able to begin a roadmap towards addressing the lack of accountability, towards ensuring that killings, particularly by the police, but not only, that all the killings are investigated, that the systemic factors such as the lack of resources of the police, the lack of training, that all those resources issues are addressed. Let me remind you that Nigeria is a middle-income country. So I have approached the questions of arbitrary killings within that context, and what I have found is not in keeping with what I would expect from a middle-income country.
So Agnes Kanu'S, is what you're saying that there are resources that can be put to work in solving some of these problems, but the right priorities are perhaps not being made?
Yes, I believe that at the moment the rule of law and accountability have not been sufficiently prioritized. I can take for proof the fact that in 2006, one of my predecessors went on a mission, and when I compare what he has found with what I have found, there are so little differences between the two reports. It is shocking. They are 15 years apart. So now is the time to prioritize the rule of law and accountability. There is a securitization strategy to address many problems, but security without accountability is not a solution for the long term. I'm not even sure it's a solution for the short term. It's just a containment policy. A containment in 2019, when the country is confronting the global processes I have identified of population explosion, increased poverty, environmental degradation, that containment policy is not going to work. Is not going to work. So it is time, more than time, too much time has been wasted. It is time to prioritize the rule of law and accountability for the people of Nigeria, particularly for the 49 millions that are living in extreme poverty.
Did you find that there was any positive change?
Yes. Yes, I have found a few positive changes. Now, for instance, in the Northeast, you were mentioning the conflict against Boko Haram. In 2015-2016, that region was at the center of many concerns for human rights violations by Boko Haram, of course, but also by the security agencies. There was a vast number of allegations of arbitrary killing, disproportionate, indiscriminate bombing, disappearances, death in custody, massive death in custody, in fact. Now, those problems have not been investigated, and there is still not any accountability for those past violations. But the progress resides in the fact that allegations over the last 2 years, 2018 and 2019, have decreased. So, for instance, allegations of arbitrary deprivation of life there are far less of them than there were 3 years ago. That I take as a positive sign. Now I would like these positive signs to be, to those positive signs, I would like to see steps taken to ensure accountability for past crimes. I would particularly like the many disappearances that have been brought to my attention by the children, the wives, the daughters and son of many disappeared men. I would like for those disappearances to be addressed as a matter of urgency, because the torture it is creating for the people left behind cannot be underestimated.
Agnes Callamard there joining us, UN Special Rapporteur. Thank you very much for joining us.
This is satellite media. We are looking at a whole lot of things here. One has to do with shutting down Biafra office in Finland. The second has to do with what I'm seeing here, that some people have gotten the mandate of over 50 million Biafrans to govern them. Of course, you understand that even the Samuel's lawyer has spoken recently about Samuel's captivity, and that Samuel is an innocent person. But let me just get your reaction, immediate reaction first.
You see, Mr. Parademi Okokonde. You see, coming to the Biafran issue or someone Ekpa issue, Nnamdi issue, it has entered the stage of Amakeme, Amakeku. Amakeme, Amakeku. Now, looking at the issue of things, we are almost getting to the cross line to win the prize. And because of what is happening, someone absent, Nnamdi absent, and it seems that the cross line have shifted front. The line to cross for the prize have shifted front a bit again. Had it been someone is out, everything will have been normalized. Things will be okay. And Ogenkere shutting down Biafran liaison office in Finland. This is show you that he is a man having the authority now in the absence of Simon Ekpa. Let us be sincere. Let us look what is on the ground. What is happening now to justify whom is whom.
No, we are not looking at who is who here. We are looking at the justification behind shutting down the office, whether he has the authority.
Yes, he has the authority because he is acting prime minister. According to the election, the governing body in Biafran government in exile did, or the CRC, conflict reconciliation committee did, which they call the opposition party to come and follow to join the election. The opposition party said no, they're not coming. They refused to come. After the election, CRC still call opposition party, Ogenkere still call opposition party, come, let us sit down around table for reconciliation. Opposition party said no. And as far as the mantle, according to the election, are given to Ogenkere, Ogenkere have right to shut that liaison office. As of today, he has right until someone is out. Now, and if you look at it, that liaison office, there's no good information coming again. Since there was a division in that liaison office, the person that handled that liaison office is not working with Biafran government in exile. He want to, I think, he may be or trying to be in the camp of the opposition, and you cannot be in the camp of the opposition using my property against me. This is why Ogenkere shut it down. And as Ogenkere shut it down, nobody have ever opposed him or go to court to say and go and shut. Why did he shut it down? Because they knew that he has a right to shut it down.
Okay, now let us look at Ogenkere accusing or rather alleging that Bianco Dugu played a pivotal role in Samuel Ekpa's case.
Yes. Yes. Not only Bianco Dugu, even the people are in the opposition now. Most of them play that vital role. So that what is happening now will be happening. And you know, Samuel Ekpa said, after the declaration of Biafra, it doesn't end there. After the declaration of Biafra, you have to defend it. When you defend it, there's a stage you defend it rich before you have recognition of other countries. You cannot declare restoration of Biafra and start having recognition immediately. You have to prove that what you declare, you can be able to handle it. They want to prove that the foundation you lay, you are able to build that building. There's a place you build that building rich that they come and help you to finish it up. That's what that means. And it was men on the ground was on the side of Ogenkere to defend this restoration of Biafran declaration. I think you understand how it's going. So,
but what you're saying, is it not speculative? Is this something you have a good authority or you have evidence to elaborate it?
Evidence to elaborate is on the chart. It's on the chart. And the Biafran government in exile are the father or mother parents to United States of Biafra. Now, it was the government in Biafra government in exile have to nurture, have to breastfeed United States of Biafra to grow up. How are they going to feed it to grow up? Is to defend the land. When you defend the land, people recognize you, then United States of Biafra will come to exist fully as a nation.
Okay, now let me bring you back home.
Okay.
To Nigeria here.
Okay. Okay.
Recently,
before, am I in abroad? I'm still in Nigeria.
Recently, the man, Senator Nnamdi, celebrated his 70th birthday. Of course, it was the Abia State government that hosted him. And in the course of that celebration, the Senate President, Abia, was there. And he did say that, or rather, this said that Senator Nnamdi is a man who is ready to die for Nnamdi. Remember that Senator Nnamdi was the one that stood shorty for Nnamdi in the past, staking $100 million naira. And he have even said it recently that he's ready to do it again if the party provides itself.
You see, let us be sincere on what we are saying. Senator Enyina Baribe have tried a lot for Biafra, for Nnamdi in the past. He have tried a lot. Even when Buhari said that Biafra is dots, Enyina Baribe came out and wear dots on his clothes to prove that he is Biafra. But along the line, things fall apart. Along the line, it looks or it seems or exactly Enyina Baribe is playing a hypocrite's role. Biafra in the day, Nigeria in the night.
These are big allegations.
Not big allegation. This is why Enyina Baribe fall apart with Biafran fans, with true Biafrans. Look, let me tell you, no politician in Biafra land you can trust in the case of Biafra liberation. Don't trust them. They can be good today, tomorrow they turn around. I'm telling you honestly. They can be good today, tomorrow they turn around. Therefore, no politician in Nigeria, Biafran politician, whether South-South, whether South-East, I trust. As far as Biafra causes, there. Okay, this Abaribe Enyina, I congratulate him for 70 years birthday. God will give him more days and more life to live. And I pray also that every spirit of hypocrisy in him, God should remove it away in the name of our Lord Jesus.
But you are trying to blackmail him.
I'm not blaspheming him. This is what I'm just analyzing.
You don't have any evidence to prove what you are saying.
I'm just okay. I don't have any evidence to prove what I'm saying.
Then hold your peace.
No.
The truth is finally out. Now that the Finnish government has declared the CDS of Nigeria, Musa, a terrorist now, what is the next phase of the lie? What lies can the government tell Nigerians? Now that Ekpa is no longer in the picture, because it has always been pictured that Ekpa is the cause of insurgency in Southeast, and now that insurgency has stopped in Southeast, and now that the Finnish government has vindicated Ekpa, that those sponsoring insecurity and terrorists in the country are those some persons in the military. Now, where would CDS Musa bury his shame? Because a group of people are saying we want to exit the country. Because the Igbos are saying they are tired of the contraption called One Nigeria. That is for Nigeria, it will not work. And then it has not been working. It has been a country full of lies, propaganda, and shame. That has always been how it is formed. So I am not surprised that the Finnish government has now come out to say CDS Musa is a terrorist for all the atrocities he has been, for all the atrocities he has committed in disguise of pretending to keep one Nigeria. And that one Nigeria has caused a whole lot of catastrophe in the country. Just some days ago, a notorious bandit that was declared wanted was seen in Katsina State with top government officials going for peace talk. Between Mazi Ekpa and that terrorist, who is more deadly? But here we are today. Mazi Kanu is still in detention. Kanu is still in detention because of the Igbophobia, of the hate. If Ekpa happens to be from the Fulani extraction, Simon Ekpa would not be a terrorist. I can beat my chest because we've seen Fulani militias that have been given amnesty. We've seen Fulani militias that have been integrated into the society. Now that Finland are waiting to the ICC, Nigeria should immediately hand over CDS Musa for custody. Because the French government have done their own findings too. And they've seen that something is pushing under the ground. That this man has a connection with these Fulanis, has a connection with these bandits, has a connection with these terrorists. So if they are sincere, they should hand over CDS Musa to ICC for questioning. Because now that the French government has done their own conclusion, I've seen that CDS Musa himself is not innocent in this. Nigeria cannot pretend as if they are not aware that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how they tend to die the matter, it is in the social media space. Everybody has seen it that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how the Nigerian government want to die this matter, but they are very quick to declare Simon Ekpa and IPOB a terrorist group. Now that the Finnish government and the ICC has declared CDS Musa a terrorist, why is the story not online? Why is the story not flying online? Because they themselves are also part of people championing insecurity and terrorism in the country. And that is why I say that anybody that speaks against